Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rukakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, in grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokoya, from the GMS Orlando camp. And in tonight's lesson, we're going to put a scope on the famine, all right, that's being manufactured by the elites in order to push forth their NWO and ultimately, all right, to implement the MOTB, all right, spoken about in Revelation 13 and 16, all right, because there are two great motivators in this world, all right, fear and famine, all right, and right now both are being engineered within society, which is a part of prophecy. All right, all of this at the end of the day has been sanctioned by the Heavenly Father, all right, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, all right, and been spoken about by the mouthpiece of his prophets since the days of old up until now. All right, so without further ado, I have a couple of videos I want to play tonight, all right, as well as a couple of precepts I want to get, Lord willing, to edify you elect out there. All right, because there is a famine being manufactured in the earth right now that will touch down and destroy the Americas. All right, because best believe all these plagues, these pestilences, these wars, these famines that we're seeing happening around the four corners of the globe right now. All right, best believe that they will migrate their way here to the Americas. All right, because we're living in the time of the end, all right, in which this place ought to be destroyed. All right, the scriptures speak about this place, America, all right, being the virgin daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. All right, and as it stands right now, you know, this place hasn't seen true war, hasn't seen true pestilence, true famine, you know, true destruction. All right, but that's all about to change here pretty soon, because this place's sins have reached into the heavens. All right, and the Lord is not going to hold his tongue anymore concerning the wickedness that's being performed, not only here in the Americas, but in the whole earth. All right, under the rule of Esau Edom, all right, the so-called white man, all right, whom the earth was given, the power of the earth was given over to for a certain period of time. And we're coming to the end of that time in which the so-called white man had to rule. We're approaching the end of this age, the end of this era. All right, this rule of terror from Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, and as we approach the end of this era, as we approach the end of this empire, all right, we're starting to see the prophecies, all right, that the Lord said would happen in the latter days manifesting in the world. All right, such as famine, such as pestilence, such as plague, such as wars. All right, so this is a good thing. You know, this is a very good thing. We're starting to see the words of the Lord being performed in the earth. All right, because as this great judgment is happening, all right, as these great evils are increasing, all right, the Lord's mercy is increasing on his people as well. All right, the Lord's mercy is increasing on our nation, the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, and that mercy has first manifested, all right, through the Spirit being bestowed upon his men, all right, to come back into their right minds, all right, and to understand this gospel, all right, to understand the entirety of the Bible, you know, and to be able to preach this word, all right, to preach this gospel, all right, to wake up the dry bones of the nation of Israel. But let's see. Before we play this video, let's get this in Ezekiel chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 8. It reads, Salaki, please just went black on me. Let's see. Bear with me real quick. I don't know what's going on, you know. Hey, that's the spirit. Hey, because we also living in the time of the famine of the word. All right, pretty soon, man, the Lord is going to shut off this word, man. He's going to cut off the internet. All right, he's going to take his prophets from off the highways and byways. All right, and it's going to be up to what you've been doing in your time of liberty. All right, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and faith that you've been storing up in this time of liberty and grace. All right, a famine of the word is approaching too. All right, two great famines are approaching, are creeping up on the earth. All right, both a famine of bread and a famine of the word, man. You know, brothers' channels are being taken down at a huge rate. You know, every time you look up, a brother has another page, man. You know, the apostles' videos are being taken down, videos of high level edification, man. You know, you can't say certain words were being excuse me, I'm still trying it, you know, but you know, certain words, you know, brothers can't say, you know, which is a sign of the times, man. It's a sign of the times that we're living in. All right, here it is. You know, we're living in the land of the free, right? So-called land of the free, where we're supposed to have free speech, but certain words are demonized. You know, especially the words of the Bible. The words of the Bible are highly demonized in this society, in which this country was so-called founded off biblical principles, in which we're starting to see that was a lie, and everything else was a lie too, about how this country was established, how it was gotten. All right, the nobility of the so-called white man. We're starting to see all this was a lie. All right, the veil has been uncovered. All right, now we're starting to see Babylon's nakedness. We're starting to see, all right, the truth. All right, the reality of the matter. And the reality of the matter is that the so-called white man, he's a thief, he's a robber, he's a liar, he's a raper, he's a murderer. All right, and he must go. He's a terror to the earth. He's a disease, all right, that must be cut out. All right, and best believe that the physician, Yahushua, is coming to cut off this disease from the earth, man. All right, but it's working. So let's see, what was I gonna get? Let's see. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, and no, not 3. Let's see. Let's see. Lucky, bear with me real quick. Ezekiel chapter 2. We're going to start at verse 8. All right, it reads, "But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. And when I look, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book that was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mournings and woe." All right, and right now we're starting to see the lamentations, the mournings, and the woes that have been written manifesting in the earth right now. And one thing that's going to cause great lamentation and great mourning, all right, is this famine that's being manufactured in the earth. All right, because through famine, all right, it's going to cause a lot of people to compromise to this devil's agenda, man. All right, hunger is a great motivator. All right, hunger and fear are great motivators, and right now, both of those things are being engineered in society. All right, you have this pandemic that's been going on, all right, which has left people in fear of their life. All right, left people in fear of their livelihood. All right, how they're gonna make it out of this. You know, you have inflation, all right, rising, which is causing people to fear. You have jobs, all right, being taken away, which has people being put in fear of their livelihood. You have foods, all right, being scarce upon the earth, which is causing people to fear, all right, which is also causing a famine, all right, which is going to cause people to compromise. You know, all these things are going to cause people to compromise until this devil's NWO, all right, what he has planned for the earth, you know, because he's going to come with the rations. You know, he's going to come with the solution, so to speak. And that's been these devil's agenda since the jump. You know, order up chaos. All right, create the chaos. All right, and offer up the solution. You know, play both sides of the coin. You know, be the villain and the hero. You know, this devil wants to be God. You know, he wants to be the Heavenly Father, just like it says in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. All right, but you know, this devil's dreams of being a Godhead are going to be cut short. All right, he's going to be able to implement, you know, some of his NWO, you know, some of his wicked thoughts in the earth, you know, but The Lord is going to cut all this short, man. All right, but these lamentations, these mournings, and these woes are going to touch down on the earth. All right, the scriptures speak about there being a time on the earth like has never before been seen since there was a nation. All right, in that time, we're approaching into that time. All right, which is why it's important to continue to measure the times diligently and continue to stay occupied in prophecy. All right, because you don't want these things to creep up on you as a thief in the night. But let's get this video. All right, it's entitled from the Epic Economist. Panic buying frenzy sparks a rush to hoard food and energy supplies as supply chain collapse begins. All right, and even here in America, although the famine hasn't fully set in, you still have people, even though talks of famine haven't even been pushed upon the mainstream media, you still have people panic buying here in the Americas too, because they see what's going on around the earth. All right, like it says in Daniel, the 12th chapter, knowledge has increased. All right, and people aren't ignorant to the agenda of the elites. They aren't ignorant to how things are unfolding in the earth. All right, this whole pestilence, all right, started off there overseas and it migrated here to the Americas. And people are starting to see the trend. All right, things first start off overseas. They test it off on those heathens, overseas. And then they bring it here to the Americas, all right, and test it on the Babylonians, So, people are starting to wake up. There's starting to be a rise in preppers, black preppers in general, all right, that see doomsday approaching. Yeah, they see doomsday approaching, man. So, hey, this is beautiful, man. But it says panic buying frenzy sparks a rush to hoard food and energy supplies as supply chain collapse begins.
A massive panic-buying frenzy continues to spread all across the world amid an ever-growing supply chain chaos and the imminent threat of further shipping disruptions in the coming days. A rush to hoard energy supplies has begun as fuel prices skyrocket and reach new...
And this is all the product of Biden, these American savior. Everybody was crying for Biden to come into office. And this is what he's done. He's driven gas prices up to $6-7 a gallon, making it hard for these people to work. A lot of people, on average make a 30-minute commute to work, or a 30-minute to an hour commute to work. All right. And with that being said, with gas prices being $5 to $7, excuse me, gas prices being $5 to $7, that's going to put a strain on a lot of people. All right, that's going to put a strain in the budget. A lot of people use that extra money that they now putting in the tank for food. They use that extra money to pay their bills. But now all that's going to the tank, man. All right, and that's going to cause an uproar to people here in the Americas too. All right, it's pretty soon, man. People are going to start rioting. All right, they're going to start losing their fucking minds. All right, and it's all been prophesied about, man. The prophets have all been saying this from the days of old up until now. All right, and it's starting to manifest now. The differences is starting to actually play out in your life now. We're starting to see these things happening. It says petrol and diesel prices rising to record high. And these are things that you're seeing.
Historic highs. In the United States, Americans are in panic at the pumps, with gas prices facing the highest weekly jump in over a decade.
Here in Florida, gas prices are up to $4 and I think 20 cents last time I seen it. $4.20. And that's huge down here, man. It's caused a lot of these people down here to panic. The pump right down the street from me, 7-Eleven, it's been out of gas for 2 weeks now. It's been completely out of gas, except for diesel. It's been completely out of gas for 2 weeks now. You go up to the pump and it's a bag over the pump and it's a note written, no gas, for 2 weeks. You go to another 7-Eleven that's down the street too from my house. Probably about 5 minutes away from my house. And they have no gas either. Certain pumps are shut down. It's only certain pumps that work, so a lot of these people are panicking, man. You know, and this is going to cause a shortage. All right, because people are hoarding up these resources because they're scared. You know, they foresee the evil, which is and a lot of people, you know, who aren't, you know, who are under that normalcy bias mindset, you know, under that mindset that things are going to return to normal. All right, they're not hoarding these things. They're not preparing. All right, and pretty soon, man, like the scriptures say, men shall invade one another for the lack of bread. All right, men shall invade their neighbors' houses. All right, and we're seeing these things. We're seeing this literally unfold right before our eyes. We're seeing the prophecies literally unfold right before our eyes. You know.
Meanwhile, in Eastern nations, people are running to buy everything they can still find in stock amid the disastrous collapse of their currency. From furniture to jewelry to other luxury goods with a high resale value, a wide range of products is simply disappearing from the stores. Now, there's a lot to cover in today's video, so please go ahead, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel to keep updated with our latest notifications. Some so-called experts say that American shoppers are still hoarding food and energy supplies, such as gas, propane, and other types of fuel, despite the decline in health crisis-induced disruptions. However, what those experts are failing to consider is that the damage done to our supply chains won't simply fade away as the rate of virus infection cases goes down. In fact, at every link of the chain, conditions are still getting worse. The backlog of containers at California ports has become so extensive that ships started to be diverted to other ports across the West Coast, which then caused congestion in several major U.S. gateways, since many of these facilities remain severely short-staffed and unable to process the enormous amount of goods arriving each day. The American people are finally understanding the importance of stockpiling. They've been buying in bulk whenever they can, and while some may call it hoarding, consumers say they're only prepping for the tough times ahead of us. With memories of widespread shortages still fresh in people's minds, they don't want to be left in such a vulnerable position again. A recent article written by consumer behavior reporter Lisa Bannon described that more and more U.S. consumers are stockpiling large amounts of food and household goods in anticipation of supply chain disruptions and shortages. That became particularly true now that global conflicts have started to worsen and trigger shipping interruptions, as well as the closure of some shipping routes and soaring transportation costs brought on by the stunning rise in oil prices. With energy prices already high, shoppers are rushing to stockpile propane, other fuels, especially gasoline. As opposed to stockpiling food, which takes time and planning, consumers have been panic buying gas before prices go even higher and supplies get even tighter. In many states, including California, Texas, New York, even Hawaii, drivers are getting shocked at the pump when they see just how high gasoline prices have gotten just over.
Hey, you know, this is going to devastate a lot of households, man. All right, these gas prices are going to devastate a lot of households. A lot of money is getting ready to be budgeted. You know, a lot of households are getting ready to go on a tight budget, man. All right, and pretty soon that tight budget is going to lead to worse and worse things. It's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter until they can't pay for nothing. All right, until they just going to have to take what they need. You know, it's going to be all out sedition. All right, all out hell broken loose here in America. But let's get this second video. This is from Dabu77. All right, get ready for rationing. Food crisis escalates as global prices jump to record high. All right, and as this famine is being manufactured, all right, best believe that the elites are going to offer up a solution. All right, and with one of the solutions that they offer up, you know, through the spirit, we can see this rationing happening, in which you will get your stipends or your rations from the government. All right, you got a week stipend, you know, a month's worth of food, or you get your week's worth of food from the government. All right, but it's all going to come at a price. It's not going to come for free. It's going to come at a price, in which that price could very well be the MOTB. Listen, take this chip, take the chip so that we're able to track your monthly or your weekly stipends. We're able to see how much you received, how much you used up, and then you're able to buy and sell accordingly. All right, and we can see it playing out. And these are the things that are coming to the earth, man. We've been trying to warn you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that these things were coming. All right, to prepare your mind, to prepare your spirit for what we're about to experience on the earth. But check this out.
This is Dabu 7. We've been talking about the thinned out shelves, how inflation is going through the roof, and the cost of everything has risen extremely. Well, now that this war in Ukraine is kicked up, it's having a ripple effect throughout many of the other areas. Food being one of them big time. And the sanctions that were put on Russia, they countered by saying, we're going to stop putting out fertilizer and all these other critical goods, critical grain, wheat, that is supplied around the world. They're going to stop.
Hey, this comment just made me laugh. It says, should I pay for gas to go to work or spend the money I have on food? This will be the new dilemma for most of us. And one of the comments below says, I'm going to lose weight, it seems. And a lot of people are going to lose weight. All right, a lot of people are going to perish because of this famine that's coming up on the earth. All right, in which, let's get this. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. And let's get verse 21. All right, it reads, for behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. All right, and while things were, victuals were cheap at one point in the earth, people believed that, they were in a good case. You could go to the store and get a pack of chicken for $5 and, feed the whole family for a week. But now that's all changed. A pack of chicken is like $14, $15, for a couple of wings. A lot of these people... A lot of these people are being disappointed, man. All right. It says they shall think themselves to be in a good case. They thought America was going to last forever. They thought things were going to be sweet forever. And then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right. So it says many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. All right. A lot of people are getting ready to lose weight, drastic weight. All right, to the point where they're going to start eating themselves. That's what famine is. You start to eat yourself from the inside out because your body is trying to make up for those nutrients that it's lacking. So it begins to eat your muscles. It begins to eat the fat that's in your body. It begins to eat. You begin to eat yourself. You begin to pine away, like the scriptures say, which is the worst way to die, because that's a slow death. At least dying by the sword. Modern day sword is the gun. You get popped. And you may feel the heat for a second and then fade away. You may have an instant death. But famine is not an instant death. That's a death that takes months. Weeks, months. And you're watching yourself lose more and more weight. You're watching yourself, feeling yourself getting weaker and weaker and weaker. To the point where, in some cases of famine, it's just inevitable. Your death is inevitable, because even if you do eat, your body will reject it. Your body shut down. That's why I believe it was one case with this American. He was stuck over. He was a prisoner of war, and they were starving him. And in order to rejuvenate him, they had to feed him grains of rice gradually, because that's all his stomach could take. Otherwise, his body is shut down. But people ain't gonna have that, man. People ain't gonna be able to rejuvenate from the famine that's coming here to Americas, man.
Other countries have already seen this and said, guess what? If they're not going to put out the fertilizer that we need, we're done shipping any of our stuff. This is causing things to lock up quickly. You won't see this probably until the next couple weeks, as all those.
And there are a lot of things, that are being implemented behind this famine. All right. There are a lot of things, that really you can't pinpoint all in one go. But some of the main things being, the elites making way for draconian law to be set in place, just to put it simply. All right, draconian laws are coming back in a big way, and this is setting precedent for it. All right, the elite are tightening up their grip on the earth. Why? Because they see that they have but a short time, pursuant to Revelation 12:12. They see that they got to move. All right, and they got to move with purpose now. All right, because the prophets are on the highways and byways week in and week out. All right, prophesying in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, giving the people the truth. All right, and it's starting to wake up the world. The people are starting to listen to the prophets now. Things are starting to make sense. And as things starting to make sense to the people, it's starting to make less sense on how this devil is still in rulership. So now that they see these things happening, they know that they have but a short time, and they're starting to move, with purpose, with haste, and they're starting to tighten up their grip on the earth. But let's keep going.
Shipments that are already en route get to the shelves, get filled, and then all those orders coming in behind that are not going to be. It's just going to be more stagnant because they're not coming in. We have full-blown countries saying they're not shipping out things like wheat and grain at all. Zero at this point because of this. You'd be crazy to think this is not going to have an effect on all of us. Because some people keep walking to the grocery store, everything looks fine. Well, here at some point, it's going to affect everybody big time. And it's not just food, energy.
And that's a part of prophecy as well. All right, let's get that. In 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, in verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right, and right now, pretty soon, these full storehouses, they're going to be found empty, just like I Am Legend. All right, just like, what was that movie, The Road? All right, when all hell breaks loose, people are going to raid the stores. All right, they're going to try to find as much food as they can, just like you see in all Esau Edom's movies of the end, the apocalypse. All right, they're going to raid the stores, try to find food. All right, or before that even happens, they're going to raid the stores, panic buy. All right, and these full storehouses are going to be found empty. All right, ain't going to be no more toilet paper, just like it was at the start of this whole pandemic. All right, ain't going to be no more gas to travel. Ain't going to be no more food to eat. No more water to drink. All right, not in the stores at least. You're going to have to invade your neighbor's house for the lack of bread. Just like it says in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. So, hey, these are the things that we're seeing, man. All right, I'm going to close it out on this. This is Jeremiah 16 and verse 1. The word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the Lord concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land, that they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. All right, and a lot of people are getting ready to die, getting ready to perish, especially a famine. It ain't going to be no burials. It ain't going to be no lamentations. It's going to be, you got to move. Get over it. All right? Those are the times that we're approaching. It says, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. For thus saith the Lord, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them. For I have taken away my peace from this people, saith the Lord, even loving kindness and mercies. All right, and the Lord is taking away his peace from 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But for the elect, all right, that remnant, all right, the Lord has reserved that mercy. All right, he's reserved that salvation. All right, that standard to be uplifted within their lives here in these latter days. All right, but with that being said, I'm going to close it out. All right, Lord, once edifying unto the elect. Shalom. Stay up.